the first text and they respond.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Wow, I don't get to say that very often. How exciting to be with you on a Friday. Usually Debbie and I are on our coaching call at this time, but we have no coaching call this morning, and your team leaders are both off today. One at a wedding and one, well, the other one it is his birthday today, and yeah, that's not why he's off. He's off today mostly because we have plans this weekend and he's tapering for the marathon, which means he has to run 16 miles, which is supposed to be tomorrow, which we can't do. He can't do. So he's doing it this morning. He's probably at about mile 10 or 11 right now. So you can text him and wish him well to get through to his 16. That's down from the 20 he had to run last week. Again, he's tapering. So now it gets easier, 20, 16, 14, 12. So at any rate, you get me today. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. And I wanted to start this morning by just giving the, oh, hold on, let me just close some open mics here. Giving the region really 2 thumbs up and lots of praise and kudos for the event that they put on for us yesterday. I don't know about the rest of you, but I thought it was really stellar. The quality of the guests, the relevance of all of the agent panels, the great ideas, the strategies, the flow, the pace of it all. I mean, I just thought everything was really, really well produced and well done. So my hats off to Michael and his regional team for bringing us such great content yesterday. Anybody want to share a quick aha that they took away from yesterday? Because you know I'm like the king of ahas. So let's just start there. Come on, somebody unmute. Tell me what you learned. You know, we do only go till 9:15. Go ahead, Jody.
So I can't even begin to start just one aha. I thought it was a phenomenal session. So I'll just give you even the luxury session, which I thought, okay, well, how much, I don't do all that much luxury, but you know, just the idea that in this market, a lot of the luxury agents, the 2 things that, you know, are about going into these appointments with confidence. And certainly that resonates with me because every listing appointment I go on, it's at least an hour of prep, just so that I really know what my scripts are, what my bullet points are, and what my prep, what points I'm going to cover, both in the broker metrics, the market information, and the comps. Because when you could really talk about that with confidence, rather than having them say, oh, well, what happened with that property? And it's like, you know, oh, you're making something up. So talking with confidence. And the other thing from the luxury thing was just not just with luxury clients, it's all about helping them with their time. That's their most valuable asset. So no matter what you could do for your clients is a huge help. And it's not so much about them paying more or paying more in commission or paying more for services, but to be able to help them with all that stuff. And in this market where we just need to help our clients with everything, whether it's a luxury, it sort of dribbles down not just from luxury, it goes to all our clients, how much help they need. And sometimes it's just holding their hand through it. And sometimes it is when they're out of town and you need to let an electrician into the house or whatever it is that you could be helping your clients with. So those are the things that they're going to be very grateful for. They're going to be happy they paid your commission and they're going to refer you to other people.
Love it.
I think that was 3 things, I think, but that was part of my list.
That was a lot of people.
I love it. Thank you so much. Debbie.
So I'm going to have 3 things too, Jody. I heard focus and the importance of focus. Even in the luxury section, they said choose a luxury neighborhood or area to target. And it's time on task over time, it's continuing to touch people in whatever way. So there were so many ideas. I think there's a danger in getting diluted by so many ideas, not diluted, but diluting your activities with too many things. Choose one or two and focus on those to create, and I'll take it all the way to the final speaker who ended up being, oh my goodness, so significant. You want to create significance in your business, and you can do that by focus.
Yeah, love that. Tony, bring us home.
Kind of what Debbie said. I mean, the thread that I thought everybody had in common was, how do you manage yourself? And it sounds obvious, but one of the lines that was kind of a wake up call for me was, would you want to work for you? You know, and it made me think about myself during the course of the day. But there was a ton, but that was the thread that was consistent for me, is how do you manage yourself? Everything from your thoughts to your actions, to your planning, to your follow-up.
Yeah, so great. So great. I'll tell you what, if you missed it yesterday, this is a perfect example of calendar management, right? This is one of those things that we've been talking about for weeks, but if you missed it yesterday, I'm going to encourage and maybe even harp a little on you to get your arms around that calendar, because there are things like this that you just shouldn't miss. There's too much power and value that comes from these sessions, and they're not all recorded. Now, the good news for those of you who did miss it is that this one was recorded. And so we will have access to the recordings on each of these by Monday. I'll give you the access to where you can find all that. It'll take until Monday for the region to get them posted and ready for us. So do watch for that. But to that, do remember the one calendar thing I'm going to mention today is next Wednesday and Thursday from 1 until 5, Gene Rivers Business Planning Clinic. It is free to you. You don't have to travel any place. We encourage you to come into the Market Center at noon for lunch, spend some time with your colleagues, and then sit and have fun during those watch parties while you're planning your business for 2022. Gene Rivers, next Wednesday and Thursday, the 20th and 21st from 1 until 5 p.m. It will be broadcast in the market centers. You can also watch it on KW Connect if you choose not to come in. But we're really going to push, and you're going to hear me push probably more than I've ever pushed in the last 18 months for you to come in to the market centers next Wednesday and Thursday for those afternoons. The value of you being with your peers while you're doing the work for business planning, to ask each other questions, bounce ideas off of each other, and implement the things that Gene is going to discuss with you is really, really crazy important. And you can't do that sitting by yourself at home. Debbie, what else?
There's one more quickie. There's a new program that's being launched on Monday for teams called Team Wins. It's 1 to 6 on Monday, and it's through Connect Live. But you do need to register for it. And it's going to be a monthly program for teams, very specifically for teams, and it's free. And it sounds like it's a must watch for anybody who is on a team or manages a team.
Perfect. Thank you for that. All right, guys. So one quickie on the sign in to win. I wanted to give you an update. So 1 week in, you all are, you're all killing it. I'm going to tell you what, you're up to over 825 submissions, just by the way. So we will crest 1,000 before the end of the weekend, which is pretty awesome. Considering we still have 2 more weeks to get people into that whole program. You should have received yesterday a link to your own personalized Google Sheet, which is your people who have signed in. Now, I want to just show you one thing. Let me just share my screen with you. And I thank Fiona for bringing this to my attention, because, where is it? Here we go. So if you can see the screen, this is what your Google Sheet came and looked like. However, what you guys can't do, which I thought you could because of the way it was sent, is open these columns up. Like normally in Excel or Google Sheets, when you hover over the line between 2 columns, you can open it and make it wider so you can read what's actually in here, right? And unfortunately, it was sent in read-only mode, so you can't do that. So we are having that changed for you so you can open these up and see what's in here. Until we do, if you can't read what's in here, remember, if you click on the cell itself, even though you can't read it here, you can read it up here. You see where that shows up right here? Let me outline that for you, right there. So it shows you what's in that cell. So if you're curious about something that looks like it goes on longer than what you have visual access to, just click on it and it'll show you up here what it says. We are working on changing those sheets over to edit access for you. That's going to take us a little time today to get that taken care of. So I hope that answers anybody's questions. If you were wondering about how, like, how do I go and read what's actually there? All right, so today we are focused on bold laws, right? And I know last week you focused on reasons, or you can have reasons or results, and you can't have both. Do you guys spend some time this week figuring out where that showed up in your world? I'm going to tell you what, if you start to really focus in on these bold laws, I don't know about the rest of you, but I find they show up all the time, right? It's like, oh man, there's that bold law showing up. I get to choose today whether I want to have a reason or a result, right? And you can't have both. So today we wanted to focus on the next bold law. It's one of my favorites, and that is the bold law of do what you have always done, and you will get what you have always gotten. Do what you have always done, and you will get what you have always gotten. Who wants to unmute and tell me what that means? What's that bold law reference?
It references if you don't ever change, nothing will ever change for you.
Yeah, exactly right, right? If your expectations don't allow your actions to change, the results don't change. What else, Heather?
Isn't that similar to the definition of insanity?
Yeah, indeed, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting
A different
results.
result.
And it's funny because I think this bold law is so relevant today because right now it's not just a matter of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, because there are some people who will say, well, I was kind of happy with my results last year. I think I'm just going to do the same thing to get those same results. And yet, what do we know about our industry? What do we know about our world? Right? This year especially, everything is changing, right? The ground is shifting underneath us. And so if you look back and say, I was happy with the results that I had last year, so I will look to do the same thing to get the same results. My concern for you is if you do what you've always done, you might get less than what you've always gotten, right? And that should be a wake-up call for all of us. So we need to continue to evolve and focus on activities that bring us results for today. Things that worked last year, maybe they work today, maybe they don't. You've got to be fluid, right? You've got to be open to accepting the new ideas, the new concepts, the new activities. One of the things Diana Kokoska taught me was, in order to get to better, you have to first go through different. I'll say that one more time. In order to get to better, you have to first go through different. That's probably one of the best things I ever heard her say. Because if you're anything like me, like my brain gets stuck in a rut. Go, well, this is just how we do it. And so we do it this way, right? Like Sheldon Cooper eats certain cereals on certain mornings and like wears certain colored underwear on certain days, right? You can't fall into that Sheldon Cooper mindset. You've got to be able to go with the flow a little bit more. So remember, doing what you've always done may get you what you've always gotten, and it may actually bring you less nowadays. Any other thoughts on that bold law? Go ahead, Donna.
So I wrote that down also when you said the bold law, to get to better, you have to get to different. I remember that too, because growth lies just outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, indeed, right. And so if we sit right here in our comfort zone, are you willing to reach outside? Are you willing to take that step outside of your comfort zone? I'm not sure why this is in my comfort zone and this is out of my comfort zone. It kind of looks the same to me, right? Just a little bit to the left. At any rate, you get the point, right? What are you doing to push yourself out of your comfort zone? Because growth only comes outside of your comfort zone. Gesundheit, Heather.
Thank you. Sorry.
Anything else? Anybody else want to comment on do what you've always done?
Yeah, I'll comment. Rick,
Carl.
I agree with Donna. And I would add to that when you're unable to get out or unwilling to go out of your comfort zone, you actually become complacent. And a favorite saying of mine that I've heard others use is complacency leads to mediocrity. And there you sit, and then you're just the same as you've always been, and you're not moving into a new direction.
I love that. Somebody write that down. Someone stitch that in a pillow. Complacency leads to mediocrity. That's a good one. I like it. Right, and here's the thing. There's nobody within the sound of my voice this morning that is mediocre in anything they do. You have to choose to be mediocre, right? You don't show up that way. You show up powerful. You show up intelligent. You show up aggressive and hungry. You have to work. You have to choose to not be that. You have to choose to take the road of complacency. So just be careful about that, right? Instead, wake up and just choose to live in your power. Choose to show up the way that you were intended to show up. Because man, oh man, I'll tell you what, that'll knock people's socks off. Look around. Look to your left, look to your right. You're powerful people on this call, right? You just have to choose to show up that way. And if you've never chosen to show up that way, we go right back to that bold law, right? Be cautious, because if you do what you've always done, you may well get what you've always gotten. So if you want to change your results, change your activities. It's that simple. And here's the good news. You all know exactly what you need to do. You just have to choose to do it. Guys, that's it for me today. I hope you have a spectacular day today. Have a lovely weekend. Do text Steve and wish him a happy birthday today. He'll get 9,000 texts. It'll be spectacular. Have a fun day today. We will see you Monday morning, bright and early, 9 a.m. I love you guys. See you soon.
Great weekend.